Hello, this is Norm with WorkAtHomeGC.com and the Community Website Tutorial. Well, in this video, what I want to do is to talk to you about content for your website, and I want to keep it as brief as possible. Fresh content is the lifeblood of your website, and the best way, one of the best ways to put content on there is with news. And of that, there are two ways to go about it. The first way is by writing feature articles about things going on around town, and I hope you're able to do that. But regardless, even if you're not, there's another way to get good news content on your website, and you really don't need to be much of a writer to do that. And that is by using Google Alerts and content curation. Okay, I'm going to be using FrontPage for the demonstration here, but it really doesn't matter because this works just as well on any platform you choose. Now, as I mentioned it in the tutorial, what would be a good thing for you to do would be to go to your local radio station and see if you can work out some kind of a trade out whereby you're able to use their news content on your website, and it might just be a matter of copy and paste, particularly if they don't archive their news. But if that doesn't work out, there's a plan B. Now, there's two ways to go about gathering the news, and again, the first way is with Google Alerts, and the other is with content curation, which I will talk to you about in a moment. Well, first, what you want to do is decide on how you want your page to look. Okay, and then you need to come up with an archival system, and the best way to do that, I believe, is to use the same page each day for news, and just get rid of what you did the day before and come back fresh again each day. But before you erase what you've done for the day before, what you want to do is to save that to another page name. And the way I do it is to save it to the Bucksnort Daily News for May 1st or May 2nd or whatever, and I put the date in there. So that's the way I go about archiving my daily news, while at the same time being able to use the same page every day for news. And of course, the reason to use the same page is because Google index it, and that's what you want. Well, the way you might work this with WordPress is to use the same page every day for your news, but to archive it, you would copy and paste it to a new blog post every day. And Excite Pro is done much like FrontPage here. First thing you want to do for the old-fashioned method is to go to Google Alerts and type in the name of a town, and I've already done this and written a page actually. What I decided to do was to use a town by the name of Grand Island, Nebraska, because it's in the center of the country. Okay, and also because Bucksnort, Utah doesn't exist, so I had to do something to show you. So when you go to Google Alerts and you type this in, you come up with the daily news stories over here, and what you want to do is pick out the best ones that you can find. Now, if you live in a one red light town and you don't generate a whole lot of news, then the next thing to do is to go out to the county level, and if you have to, go regional or even statewide. As you write your news content, you want to make sure to sprinkle your town name through the articles. So we could let's see, Nebraska. Okay, this increased workers' comp payouts for burials. That sounds like a great one. Okay, what you want to do is to go to the article, and one thing you could do is just copy the old article out. And I use copy as text. I have a Firefox add-on that lets me do that, and I can go back over here and come down here. And what I want to do at this point is to just generally rewrite the article to make it my own fresh content. Just rewrite it in your own words and using the same facts. But you always want to give credit back to where you got the article. You just can't plagiarize it. You wouldn't do that anyway. And you can't just copy it straight and call it yours. And you have to give credit back. And there's a number of reasons for this, because you don't want somebody to call you up on the phone and say, "Hey, what are you doing with my stuff?" So this could happen anyway, but chances are great, if you're careful, it won't, because what you're going to be doing is giving a link back to these folks. And what you're going to wind up with is something like this right here. Okay, well, I made up all this stuff, but had I've used the Google Alerts, I would have put a good link back to the page that I got it from. And when I make a link, by the way, I make sure to make it come up on a new page. That way your website stays up all the time. So anyway, that's the first way to do it. And the next way is to do something called content curation. And I learned about that from a fellow by the name of Russell Wright from a WSO that I bought from him. And he suggests that you use a website called Storify, Storify. Storify really didn't work out for me, so then I went looking for something else, and I came up with a little doodad by the name of CurationSoft. And I'm going to show you how this works, but first let me tell you, CurationSoft, they have a free product, and it's not good for much except to show you how it works, and it's very simple. The paid software will do you the best job, and that's $59 a year, and it works really good for our uses. So if you don't want to do it the manual way, this is a way to automate it a little bit, and using this stuff you can turn out copy very, very quickly. Content curation is relatively new, and it's really catching on, and it's something that would help us in our community websites particularly well. And the way this works is once you sign up, you download some software here, and it looks like this. And we go down here, and we would go to Google News, and we would type in our town name, in this case Grand Island, Nebraska, and it goes out and finds the stories for Grand Island. Okay, so what we do is, and again, it doesn't matter which it doesn't matter which platform you use, because again, the principles are the same. And what you see here, I decided to do the headline, a summary, and then the content curation. So what I'm going to do is come right here. I'm going to go back here, and judge orders Grand Island to hire fire chief. Okay, now what you can do is go check out the story and look it over, and if it looks like something that you want to use, then you go over here to your to your website, and in the case of front page, what I have to do is to bring up the HTML code here, and it's the same in all the platforms. And what I'll do is just put a few spaces in there so I can make sure where I'm at. And I'll come over here, and I'll just grab this story. You see how the cursor changes? I'll just grab this story, drag it down to here in the HTML, and I'll go back to the design, and I don't know what that is, comes up, but I get rid of it. Okay, and I've got the story here. This is the curated content, and then I'll come up here and type in the headline, judge orders Grand Island to hire fire chief. Here, and make this an H1. Scratch that, make that an H2. Okay, and then what I want to do is to go back over here to the story, and again, what I like to do is just copy the thing out and go down here and copy as text and paste it out. Okay, and then what I'll do is to summarize the story, and I'm going to pause right here for just a second, and I'll summarize it, and then just to save a second, and I'll come back. Okay, I've summarized the news story right here, and I'm get rid of this text that I brought in. Okay. So basically what I have is a title, and I have a summary, and then we have the curated article. And again, this article is set to go to a new page, that way our website stays up. Okay, and in front page you can preview it this way. It's this is good to give you an idea of what you have, but it's not perfect, so I'll save the page and go to preview it in the browser. And this is what the finished product looks like. So what you would do is just, you know, rinse and repeat, and I would do about 4 articles a day or so. And you know, once you get rolling with this and understand what you're doing, I mean, this is a snap. I mean, you could do a page in a page and a half hour and go on to something else. But here's the kicker: if you're really a news nut, and I really don't want you to get hung up with news. News is very important to your website, but you know, you have other things to do. But if you're really a news nut, and particularly if you got some help, here's a kicker: what you could do is to do a video newscast of your page here, you know, 4 or 5 minute newscast, and then save it to YouTube, and then turn around and paste the video back inside your news. And I know for a fact that that really will supercharge your news operation, and it will come up even much higher in Google. So it's just a thought, something, you know, like I say, if you have the time and you want to do that, that's something you could do. So this is content curation. It's a coming thing. A lot of people are doing it. Just make sure that you don't plagiarize and you give credit where it's due, and you should be just fine. And the thing is, the whole point of this is to bring people in every day to see the page, sure, but the other point is to archive what you've done, because this stuff, just like a furnace, will keep chugging inside your website, and it will help your PR. It's the best thing in the world that you can do, and it's the easiest thing. So you want to give this a try. It's easy, and this will really make your website stand out.